Hey, this is Arsene from Rambling Regan. Sorry that you're not seeing my face, but I'm doing you a favor because I'm sick and I look terrible. So either way, it's been a few hours since I saw something and I wanted to do a video of it immediately. Y'all know that I've been, touting and screaming and trying to get as many people to watch Star Blazers, the original series that made me, absolutely. I mean, I've always loved anime, and there's a whole video of how I started watching all this stuff. But Star Blazers for me was a series that I used to run home from school. I was like 8-9 years old, just to see the series. It's just, yeah. And so they did a reboot of that series. The original series actually is from 1972, and it came out in the US 1979 under Star Blazers. The original name was Space Battleship Yamato, just by itself, just like that, Space Battleship Yamato. And the remake of it is the exact same name, but they just added 2199. 2199 is the year in which this fictional thing happens. The way they did the remake, I'm not even sure. I would say it's remade because it's still the exact same story. They just added to it, which is great because one complaint I used to have of the original series is that for a ship that large, you should have a heck of a lot more crew other than red shirts. And this one seems a lot more populated, makes a lot more sense because they added a lot of characters to it. But the core story still stayed the same. If anything, they just added more storylines and just kind of filled things out, which is great. And actually added a few cliffhangers in there that were not part of the original series. And I loved it. I had to watch the series with an eye patch. Because they had a terrible release schedule in the West. It was, the original, how it actually releases in Japan is weird. The 2 episodes at a time would air as a movie, and the exact same day they would sell Blu-rays of those. That's super expensive. And then you'd have anywhere like 3 to 4 months. And then they'll do the same thing over again. So it takes almost a year, actually longer than that, to actually put the entire series out. I think it's like 2 years or something like that. It's crazy long. Comet Empire is going on now, which is the name of the second series. My favorite series of all time, with my favorite character of all time. And the show started airing, I think, in January in Japan, like this year. And they still haven't gotten to the episode that has her. And so I think the next episode or next set of episodes that come out is like in January of 2018 coming up. And I still haven't seen her on the trailers. It's like, ooh, you guys are taking your time. They're probably putting a heck of a lot more in the beginning. I haven't seen any of it. I want to be surprised when it actually comes out. But I had just finished doing the podcast for animation, and that's on my website, and y'all should see it. I'm doing a lot of work on that. But either way, and I've been complaining about how terrible the release schedule for the US because they botched that release. Oh my god, it was terrible. And the series is fine. It's just how it was presented here and just disappeared for great reasons, but I won't go into that. So I was a little surprised, like, no one's really talking about this. This is a great series. And then literally out of nowhere, it was like, last week, where I ended up seeing tweets about Funimation license rescuing this, and I was just like, yes! Somebody, anybody, I don't care if this is dubbed. I mean, eventually, I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm crossing every finger I have that Funimation will have a full release of this, including the original Japanese. I was a little worried how the dub was gonna go, but at this point, it's like, I don't care. As long as the original still exists, I'm fine. And so it was saying that it was going to come out today, Wednesday. Well, by the time this video comes out, it'll be Thursday. But it was coming out on Wednesday, November 8th. I think it's November 8th. November 8th? Yeah, November 8th. So, I was waiting for it, and you know, hubby was getting home, and I turned on. I have VRV, which has both Crunchyroll and Funimation, and I'm happy to say that both Crunchyroll and Funimation have theirs on their respective websites. Doesn't matter. I have them both when I watch VRV. Since Verve, I don't know, VRV for me. And so we ended up watching it. I was really surprised how good it was. I don't know a lot of the names. The only name that I really know would be the ADR director, Jerry Jewell, which for me is Kyo from Fruits Basket. You know, the angry cat. Yes. And so I know he's done like a billion other things or whatever, and I'm like, oh, Jerry Jewell's doing this. This is great. So, I was very surprised. I still have to kind of deprogram my brain because the captain, I still keep calling him Captain Avatar. It's 30 years. Yeah. 30? Oh God, yeah. Way over 30 years. It's the character's name is Okita, and it's in the first episode, and so his voice, I'm gonna put a little video of this voice.
We're outnumbered 5-1. Wildstar, do you hear? Follow me. Wildstar, it's an order.
Doesn't he sound like, this is from like the 1979 series, or 72 I should say, 79 for us, that specific dub. He always sounded like he smoked like 20 packs of cigarettes or like gargling with gravel or glass or something. He was just like this gruff old fart. That's basically what he is. And I loved it. So this one, I gotta put the same set of lines, but here.
What shall I tell them?
Tell them they're idiots.
What?
I said idiots.
返信はどうします？バカめと言ってやれ。
あ、
バカめだ。はい。
How should we respond, sir?
Tell them nuts.
Sir?
Go on, send it.
Aye, aye.
You see how different it is? That's the only, I think, critique I would say is some of the lines are very literal, which in a lot of ways I don't mind. I still like the old line of how they said that in 1979 rather than, you know, 2017. God, I can't do math right now. And you know, it's neither here nor there. That, I believe, is the correct Japanese translation. I still, in my brain, I always said go to hell. I never realized this is idiot. But it literally is nuts. I think I think he's Admiral. I don't even know what his title is. He always would be Captain Avatar to me. I've seen the entire series already, and I've seen it with the subtitles, so I know what their names are, and I've heard their names when they're screaming into each other. I still have to learn these names. Oh my God. But I'm really, really, really happy with it. I don't care if there's a lot of new people that I've never heard of before. They're doing a great job. The thing that really surprised me, one of the things that kind of motivated me to do this video, was hearing, you know, Derek Wallstar, which is Susumu Kodai. Chris Wetcamp? Wetcamp. I am sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. It was so moving to read that tweet because you can tell that someone is passionate about doing this. I mean, he ran home from school to watch this show, so the idea of being casted into the one role you really, really wanted, you can tell. I still have to get used to you, Chris. But I like it, and I like it a lot. I like that there's range, so it's not the same lines over. You can tell when he gets, you know, excited, because there's going to be a lot of him getting excited because he's constantly screaming all over the place as the series goes on. And then there are moments where, I mean, he grows up and it gets a lot more serious, and there's a lot of different variations and tones to his voice as the series goes on. And Wildstar from like 1979 was go, 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 go. So I'm happy to see that there's range even on the first episode. And I don't judge a full dub on the first episode because Lord knows I've seen plenty of dubs where I'm like, ooh, gotta give that a couple episodes, and then they just kind of grow into the role. So that's what I'm thinking was going to happen with Okita, the Admiral Captain Captain Avatar for me. So again, I like their voices. Some of them I think they have to grow into. Was it Rigo Fajardo? I have to say that in Spanish. I've never heard of him before. The one that does Mark Venture for me, which is Taisuke Shima. He did fantastic. In fact, he almost sounds like the original voice from 1979, which is not a bad thing. It's just funny. So I'm sitting there, I just had this big smile on my face, and I turned, 8, 9 years old all over again. So I'm just really excited. So there's a lot of new people that are going into the series, and I'm just like bouncing up and down. So I'm like just really happy. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's coming out I think every Wednesday. In fact, I'm looking at their website, and it says that they're gonna do episodes 2 and 3 next week. I have one critique, like a major critique, and this is all through all Funimation Now series. Please translate the signs. So if all of a sudden they're looking at a piece of paper, I want to know what the heck that paper is. Now, granted, I'm getting pretty good at reading some of the signs, but that's not a good... So if you're going to introduce an entire series to somebody and there's a lot of things that you're staring at, especially if they're like reading a note, please translate the notes. Something, anything, just something, because it kind of takes you out of it. I've seen the series a billion times. Again, eye patch and everything, I've seen it. And I am very well aware of the original series, as I have, my box set of VHS tapes of all 3 series that came out for that. And, yeah, that's the only problem I have with it. But I'm really happy with the dub. It's out now, first episode. It's going to come out weekly, so it's going to take a little bit to have the entire series out. But please watch it, and you get to see why I've been clamoring about this. I'm just so happy right now. It's coming out legally, streaming, so people can see this. And again, my hope is that it will be able to have that to be sold. I hope it's a bilingual release. I'm crossing fingers. At this point, I don't care. I want to actually legally own this. And not in the... let's not talk about the bad things. So anyway, and of course, major crossing fingers that they have season 2, or at least hopes to do season 2. I don't care how long it takes for it to finally come out in English. I want them to get season 2. Just please get season 2. I need my Trilena. I have to learn her name as Teresa, I think it is. I can't wait to see it. So either way, that's enough of me rambling as usual, and so I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll do another update video on all the stuff that I'm working on and not working on, and all the different stuff that's going behind the scenes very soon. So again, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.